So I just want to sort of stay around the Sinuism area a little bit, but not so much about the music and the band. But it was around about that time that you had your own guitars anyway, didn't you? So what makes of guitars did you have? But I want to get on to one particular one that you had a real passion to buy, and that was, we had to travel to Nottingham to get that. But what guitars did you have before the other one?
First guitar was a Fender Squier Stratocaster, which was of starter grade, as it were, where you got a free amp with it and all that stuff as well. It's like a 10-watt Park amp, big bag, guitar lead, and couple of picks and stuff in exchange for a packet of fruit pastels or something. It was like pretty cheap, but no, it was cool. That was a good guitar. I've still got it upstairs, covered in stickers and gold paint. It's got holes drilled in it for some fucking bizarre reason. I don't know what I was thinking. Clearly, I wasn't thinking. It's stupid. And then 15th birthday, I think your mum got me the red guitar just there.
That's it. Yeah, I was just about to say, if people can not sort of look behind you, see your guitars and hanging on the wall.
Yeah, it's it's an Epiphone / signature model. The / snake pit stuff. I think they claimed there was only 3 in the country when you bought that.
Oh, right.
Andertons. Still don't believe they're advertising.
Yeah. But then you went on, you had this, I suppose, real urge to buy a really special guitar. And I thought it was, when you were telling me about it, and we'll say the name, it's a PRS, Paul Reed Smith. And you were telling me about what it's got on it, the colour of it and everything. And I can remember helping you negotiate with different shops to get the best price. I think one was down in Poole in Dorset, Andertons, and there was one in Nottingham.
Andertons was the most expensive for anybody watching this who happens to watch this. They were the most expensive by 500 quid.
Yeah, and the best price.
I said they couldn't fudge.
No. So we managed to get a good deal for you in the shop in Nottingham. And I have to say, when we went to get that, the look on your face was unbelievable. You were so pleased, so happy to get that guitar. But I have to say, it's a beautiful guitar.
It is. It's there.
Have you got it? You can just hold it up to the camera, James, so people can have a look at it.
Everybody knows or is interested. Custom 22, Royal Blue, Dragon 2 pickups, all that stuff.
And you got inset into the fret. What are they? They're birds, aren't they?
Yeah. That's
absolutely beautiful guitar.
Yeah, it's pretty. A lot of sweat all that all over it.
Yeah. But that
it's far too good a guitar for me. That's for sure.
But you used that during your time with Sinuism, didn't you? Yeah.
Sinuism. All the way through that.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah. I think.
And then
Sumer as well.
Yeah, and I was just about to say, then Sinuism started coming to an end. I think Ian left, didn't he? Because he got a bit disillusioned, I think, with the band and the music.
And living in England.
Living in England, yeah. But then you with all the people that you'd met through different bands and things like that over the period of time, and I met a lot of your friends, and some of them have become friends of mine, which is great. You then set up a band called Sumer.
I didn't set it up. No.
Well, no, you didn't. But,
don't say such things. I joined it. I was invited to go and jam with the brothers Bonnie.
Yeah, that's Tim and Toby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
10 years ago. Over 10 years ago now.
Yeah. And so you went jam with them, and then you formed this friendship, this start of a band together. And then
Yeah, well, we knew those guys from a couple of gigs we'd done with their old band.
that's
Well, we
right.
did loads of gigs with them.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Taria joined, didn't she, next? Was it Taria? Or was
Yeah,
it Ian?
yeah. No, Taria was next. There was supposed to be a couple of other bass players, but yeah, various reasons didn't happen.
Yeah.
And Taria was the bass player of their old band, and she'd just come back from working on a cruise ship, I think.
Yeah. But then, so you started rehearsing together as a 4-piece band, and Toby was the drummer, and Tim and you were guitarists, and Taria was bass player. So tell everybody how it came about that Ian then came along to the rehearsals or whatever it was, and then you became 3 guitarists, a bass player and a drummer, which is quite unusual, I think.
It's a very loose description of 3 guitar players. Sure. So we started auditioning vocalists, and went through a whole bunch, really. I think sort of 4 or 5 audition sessions with different guys, all with interesting ideas, but just didn't quite fit. There was one guy who auditioned. I was going to just quit the band if he was going to be part of it. It's a tricky character. And then subsequently found out that there was another band that we knew of that stayed instrumental because they auditioned him and he put them off having a singer. So, yeah. An interesting character, but a phenomenal singer, but yeah, not for us. And then I think Ian said he just wanted to have a crack. He did demo vocals for a track called Pinch Cut. It was all really cool. We really liked it. So we asked him if he wanted to join, and unfortunately he did.
But then, as I say, you became 3 guitarists, even though it is a loose term for 3 guitarists. But it is.
Guitarist is the loose part of the term.
Yeah, but it's unusual to have 3 guitarists in a band. From what I understand, anyway.
Yeah, kinda. I mean, it's happened a lot over the years. It's not like it's the first time any band's ever had 3 guitar players. Pretty sure like Leonard Skinner had, or Leonard Skinner, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sure they did. Iron Maiden did, but that's kind of accidental. They just didn't want to get rid of the guy that they hired when one of the original dudes dropped out.
Right. Yeah.
And then apparently they keep his guitar really low in the mix live anyway. Poor Yannick. Yeah, it does happen. Like Radiohead, 3 guitars, occasionally, not all the time.
But I think the reports are.
But yeah, typically so. Not 3 guitars isn't staggeringly common.
Yeah, no, but the reviews that I've read of the gigs you've done and what people say about your style of music is very reminiscent of bands like a lot of people won't know the bands, but I think one of the top ones is Tool. But they say that the reviews say that the way the 3 guitarists work together with their different positions within the band makes you stand out ahead of everybody, a lot of other bands in your genre of music. Yeah,
that's fair. I think I always say that we needed 3 guitar players because we're all individually dreadful players. So we need to make up for lack of skill with quantity. So,
but you released your first album in 2014, which was critically acclaimed, and it's called The Animal You Are. And I know there was a strange occurrence because you ended up in a competition called Metal to the Masses.
Yeah.
And you're not a metal band, but
not really.
No, but you went through every round, and the judges couldn't fault you in any way whatsoever, even though you weren't a metal band. And the sort of first prize, shall we say, was playing at Bloodstock in Derbyshire, wasn't it?
Yeah, that is correct. But we didn't actually win it. We didn't win the final.
No.
I think my dear friend Simon Hall, who is the judge of every single final that competition does, the guy's an absolute legend. He's been super supportive since he first saw us at that competition. But that was the first time where he put all 4 bands through to play Bloodstock on the New Blood stage. 2 of them to play that year, and ourselves and another band to play the following year.
And I think it's a huge open air festival, isn't it? And I think there's 3 stages, and you played the first stage, the Sophie stage, was it, on the first year?
No, first year was New Blood stage.
Oh, New Blood stage, sorry.
Yeah. So yeah, the festival's run by the same family that started it years ago.
Yeah.
And it's gradually built up, and it's more akin musically to European festivals or metal festivals, I should say. But yeah, still very much community oriented as well. Like you get couples walking around in corpse paint and spiky leather bands coming off of everywhere, pushing their toddler in a pushchair.
Yeah. But you went back the second year, didn't you? You played on the next stage up, the next big 10.
Yeah. We got invited to play on the Thursday night, which is kind of like the party night sort of thing, the opening of the festival. Again, all down to Simon Hall.
Yeah.
Put us in a good spot in the middle.
Yeah.
There's only 5 bands playing, so you kind of had a captive audience, which is good. But I think that's the beauty of that festival, is that they support unsigned and underground bands. It's a whole weekend of unsigned bands playing on one of the stages, and it's exclusively unsigned.
Yeah, that's great. It's great for the unsigned bands. But everybody that loves Sumer, including myself, we're all waiting for the second album, James. When's the second album ever going to be released?
Next question. Let's not talk about that.
Okay, we're not talking about the second album. Have you actually got a title for the second album?
Album 2? I don't know. You'd have to ask the other members of the band.
Yeah. I know it's taken a long time and a lot of frustration involved. So we'll skip that bit, shall we? Skip that bit.
Yeah, let's skip talking about bands forever.
Okay, but you've also got a day job, and a day job is you are plumber and heating engineer.
Yeah, sure. Engineer.
I remember you coming to me and you said, I can't remember quite how old you were, probably 10 years ago, something like that. And you said, I need to do something else with my life, Dad. And
my life.
Work-wise. And I said, have you ever thought about doing anything in the building industry? I said, if you become a plumber, become a jobbing plumber, and just fix a tap, wash, whatever it is, you'll always have work. And you said, no, I hadn't thought about that. But then you come back to me, I think about a week later, and your first words were, blimey, don't plumbers earn a lot of money? But that's
compared to working in a shop, yes.
Yes, of course. Yeah. But that's where you decided to take your career, is down that route. And fair play to you. You got your bank loans and you paid for your plumbing course first. You got that, and then you did exactly the same for your heating engineer gas training. So you've got all that as well. So, fair play to you, son. You've done all that off your own back.
Oh.
Yeah. And you're very successful, and you're very good at your job, even if I say so myself. But It's very
Yeah,
difficult to get.
some other people might not say the same.
But it's true what they say about if you've got a job to do at home, get somebody else to do it for you because your son will never do it for
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
It took me about 6 months to replace my own kitchen tap. So
yeah, there you go. Yeah, I'd have paid somebody else to come and do it for you if I wanted to.
yeah, I fucking should have done.
But look, James, we've cracked on. This is actually the longest Zoom chat I've done, and it's been great. I've loved it. It really is. But
Yeah. As long as you're prepared to lose subscribers, then
what I want to ask you though is going back to the bands and guitars.
Mm-hmm.
Have you got that guitar there that Simon Bailey made for you? Because you wanted to have a guitar made for you, didn't you? And a friend of yours is a guitar maker. Tell everybody a little bit about. Sorry, say again.
It's a luthier.
That's what it is, is it? Right, okay.
It is.
Yeah, so tell everybody a little bit about Simon.
Simon Bailey is a luthier.
Yeah.
I think I met him through a couple of gigs, I think, originally. And then like the singer of his band worked at the shop for many years as well.
Mark, yeah.
And I remember Simon actually starting his luthier course at college. I think it was Kingston, somewhere like that. And then he just carried on and self-employed, SMB Guitars.
Yeah.
He does sterling work. He's been doing this for years anyway.
And then he made this guitar for you, didn't he?
Yeah.
Where you chose the wood for it, and did you choose the design? Yeah. Did you choose the design as well, or was that something that Simon advised you about?
It's very much guided on loads of things, really. From which woods to use. Like his part of his thing is using English tone woods, which I can't remember. I can't remember what's called. Sycamore. I know sycamore's been used.
Walnut was one, wasn't it?
Walnut. Yep. And possibly. No, not. I've got bog oak in my head, but I don't think it was. I don't know. I can't remember now.
Have you got the guitar there so you can show everybody what it looks like, please? And that's the guitar James had made for himself, and that's Simon's initials there. Absolutely beautiful guitar.
It's lovely.
Yeah. And that is a one-off. No one will ever get a guitar made exactly the same as that again.
Right. That's correct. But they might steal that one, and then then somebody else will have that guitar.
Yeah, but let's hope that never happens. So look, James. James, I really appreciate your time tonight. I know when I first mentioned it a few months ago that you were going. I said about doing a chat with you. You went
months ago. Jesus, really?
But I really appreciate.
Was I drunk when you...
James, I really appreciated your time tonight. Thank you very much, mate. And
welcome.
I'll get this out onto the Oostuizen soon.
Yeah. Is it possible to get minus views?
Yeah, quite possibly. Get loads of thumbs down on them sometimes.
Yeah.
But anyway, James, thank you very much. Take care of yourself, and I'll speak to you soon. Ta-ra, mate. Bye.
Farewell.